Today we are going to learn the English 10th standard, third chapter 1.3, which is On the Wings of Courage. Okay, so by the name itself, we will try to understand what is exactly mean. Wings, if I'm saying, so you need to remember that the wings are there in the plane, and courage means like there are so many courage are there because of motivation, some kind of that. So if I'm talking about the wings, so definitely it is related to aeroplane, right? So on the wings of courage. Now let's start. On the wings of courage, specifically this story is related to one person, and that person name is Marshall Arjun Singh. You can see the image also. On him, the story is going to be revolve around. Okay, we will try to understand that. Air Force, Marshal Arjun Singh, an icon of India's military history, will always be remembered as a war hero who had successfully led young Indian Air Force during 1965 Indo-Pak War. So actually, he was a very successful in the Indian Air Force, and he led the young organization Indian Air Force against the Indian-Pakistan War in 1965. Okay, Marshal Arjun Singh was a person who is working in the Air Force, and he uh, successfully defeated the Pakistan in the Indo-Pak War in 1965. Okay, and then the only officer to attain highest post of Marshal the Air Force, like he is the only person who attained this post. The Air Force equivalent to the army. The Air Force equivalent to the army, uh, 5-star Marshal. And you know this post of Air Force is equivalent to the 5-star of army. Like if I talk about the army highest level, so it is equivalent. Marshal is equivalent to that, and he is the only one person who had achieved that. And then uh, Marshal Singh was a fearless, exceptional pilot who had flown more than 60 different types of aircraft. Like he was a very unique, and he had flown 60 different types of aircraft. He had flown, and he played a major role in transforming the Indian Air Force into one of the most potent air force globally. And the Indian Air Force is monumental to the list. So, he has played a major role in developing the organization of Indian Air Force into global level. In a globally, he had made a very good contribution of them, and tried to make importance in India also. Like people are believing that this organization is related to army, but because of him, this Indian Air Force organization was grew, and he was the epitome, which means the perfect example of military leadership in a classical sense. And it is therefore not surprising that he was honored with the rank of Air Force Marshal. Former Vice Chief of Indian Air Force, Air Force Kapil Kirk said that, like because of his contribution, he is the best example. Well, whatever contribution he has made, so that's why he is the best example to of the military leadership, and he got honored with the different awards, right? And the former Vice Chief Marshal has said that Indian Air Force Kapil Kirk had said, and then the Singh was honored with the rank of Marshal on Republic Day 2002, and Sam Hor Hormuzji Framji Jamshedji Manekshaw and Sam Manekshaw and K.M. Karipya were the only two army generals honored with the rank of Field Marshal. So actually, like, he was also honored with the Marshal, and apart from him, there were two more people. The Manik Shaw and K.M. Karippa were the only two field marshal on that time, and he was also honored on Republic Day in 2002, known as a man of few words, and he was known. And then Kapil Kak said he was known as a man of few words. Singh was not only fearless pilot, but also a profound knowledge about the air power and applied in a wide spectrum areas. So specifically, he was not a known pilot. Whatever knowledge he have is applying in the real life. And Singh has assiduously working hard and showing careful attention to details, led the Indian Air Force during 1965 war and denied success to Pakistan Air Force, though it was better equipped with American support. So Singh was actually again led the Indian Air Force against Pakistan Air Force in 1965, and it was better equipped with American shuttle. So Pakistan was actually taking help from the America, and his most outstanding contribution was during war. Okay, and this was the one of the most outstanding contribution during the wartime, right? Because he was very working hard. He's actually attending each and everything on his way. Commanding his role in the war. Commanding his role in the war, the YB Chavan, the defense, the commanding his role in the war, the YB Chavan, then defense minister had written, like, whatever he had done and officially praising to him. So defense minister has written that Air Marshal Arjun Singh is a jewel of a person, quite efficient, firm, unacceptable, but a very able leader. Like, he is one of the Navratna person. He is one of the precious person. Like, he is efficient. He is unacceptable, but a very able leader. In 1944, the Marshal had led the squadron against the Japanese during the Arakan campaign. So, in 1924, the Air Force Marshal Arjun Singh has led his team against the Japanese during the Arakan campaign, which was in the Second World War. Because Second World War was started on 1939, so it is around World War II. So close air support mission during the crucial Impal campaign, and later assisted the advance of the Allied force of Yangon, formerly Rangul. So in 1994, he had led with his team against the Japanese people, right? And against the Japanese people, and he assisted the Allied forces. I think so many of you know that Allied forces who is initiating the war. So he will help the Allied forces, and in recognition of his feat, he was awarded the DFC on the spot by the Supreme Allied Commander of Southeast Asia, the first Indian pilot to have received it. Singh was selected for the Empire pilot training. So Singh was actually selected for the Empire pilot training course at Royal Air Force Cranwell, which is in England, in 1938, when he was 19 years old, and he retired from the service 1969. So actually, because of his recognition, he supported the Allied force. He got the Supreme Commander of the Allied Forces a DFC award, and he got the Royal Air Force training in the age of 19 years old, and he retired from 1965 from the service. Okay, and then Singh was born in 15 April 1919 and in Lanpur, now it is in Pakistan, and completed education in Montgomery. And his first assignment on being commissioned was to fly Westland Bapiti biplanes in the Northwest Frontier Province as a member of the number 1 Royal Indian Air Force Squadron. So actually he got an assignment also. The first assignment was like he need to lead a biplanes, and at that time on this assignment he was the number 1 position. Okay, so I'm going to stop over here. Right, we are studying about the Air Force Marshal Singh. So next we will learn. Okay.